What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Flashback Higuain. The 87 Inter Miami Argentinian striker is still kicking about. He has got himself an 87 flashback and a great link to an Aguero flashback if you did finish that card as well. So it's not a bad card. I think he's had a huge upgrade on his pace, obviously at 24 extra pace. And normally with these sort of cards, I'm not convinced. I was pretty convinced with this card. We'll have a look at some gameplay. We'll go through the card, his price, the SBC, other links that you can go through. Make sure you drop a link down below, or a like and subscribe. That would be nice. And let me know down below as well if you are completing Higuain's Flashback SBC. But let's get into the review. So we have got this 4-star Argentinian striker, obviously a veteran of the game. He is 33 years old with a right foot and is standing at 6'1" with a high attacking work rate and a medium defensive. Like I said, the big thing that came with this card is he went from 65 pace all the way up to 89. And like I said in the intro, I'm never normally convinced of how well this actually transpires into a better card. Sometimes you find that they do get like a massive increase, very much like a Cruz last year. It did have some effect on him, which was really nice, but I still think that if you compared him to a normal 89 pace base striker, he still seems slower, and that can be a whole host of things. Animation is a big one, and it's one thing that I'm learning in terms of review style, is that animation is a massive thing, and if you haven't got the correct one, or you haven't got the most meta animation, then that does affect your price massively. Obviously with this card, I wasn't expecting a hell of a lot. He did manage to get the most goals in a game for a review so far. He managed to score 7 goals in one game, which is just absolutely nuts, because the guy wasn't like it wasn't necessarily like the great, like he weren't Division 1 player, but it's not as if he was awful. And his team icons, the standard Varane, I think, did he have Rio? He had either Rio or he had it was an icon centre back, I'm pretty sure. But he had a cracking team, basically. And he still managed to net 7 against him, which was just incredible. So we will go into that. Shooting-wise, 88 has always been quite a nice finisher. It's gone up by a +3. We've got +4 on the passing, +6 on the dribbling, +4 on the defending, and +1 on the physical. Composure-wise, could be a little bit better. That's what I always suggest. Everything else there in the dribbling isn't awful. Passing is pretty much bang on average. Obviously, not really got too much strength, which is weird because I'd have him as more of a stocky player, more of a kind of like a built player with a little bit more strength, but unfortunately he doesn't have any of that, and he does have good heading. So let's jump into some gameplay and see all these goals, eh? So we start off with Higuain, and honestly, it was going against Traore to start with, and I just could not get around him. Traore is so quick on this, but we see just a little bit of skill. We get a little heel to heel, we go for the shot, and Traore is always there. But this is the first goal he managed to get, and it's obviously a nice little cross. Bang, lovely finish. Can't really argue with it. It's a cross goal. Keeper's not going to have too much of a chance, but we'll see some really nice ones. I love this one. Manages to get himself back onside after going all the way around, and it's just a cheeky little finesse around a keeper. We get the next one here. This one was actually quite nice. We go with the little flip-flap, go with a ball roll, and then again another finesse around it. It's a nice little kind of tactic I like. It's feint one way, go the other, and sometimes you do get the defender, but obviously you only can do it 1 or twice a game. We managed to get the lovely touch on here, and just an absolute cracker into the top right. Higuain managing to get 4 goals at this point, and then we get one here, makes a massive mistake with Mukiele, and then Higuain is going to counter. We do try and just go away from him, and just again absolutely unleash it into the top right, and again we go again with him. Lovely little ball and a finesse outside the box. What review wouldn't be set with a finesse not outside the box? Beautiful finish. And like I say, with this sort of striker, because he should be quite slow, that strikes me that his finishing should be absolutely incredible, and then just a header to finish it off. So if we do go into the overall review for Higuain, we have got, obviously, Inter Miami have now got a couple of specials. Nothing really too drastic going on there. We have got Matuidi and now Higuain in the specials, so you could link them together. That's personally my link, but whether you'd want to do that is the next question. In fact, before we go to Argentina, where is Higuain? Let's just go back because I want to have a look at MLS to see, because they have got now some really nice specials. We've obviously got the record breaker Vela. We do have De Santos as another midfielder. Nani as a, a freeze. Opara centre-back wise with his milestone brother. And then we have got Lima and Bojan as other milestones to go alongside Long. We have got hero cards, a couple of informs. So you've got a nice little base rounding with these kind of cards here, and then you kind of struggle for the rest of the team. But it's just nice to know that the MLS is coming into some really nice cards. In terms of Argentina then, we have got loads you could go for. Obviously, big boy Messi is number one. You've then got the likes of Aguero in his flashback. You've got Di Maria rule breaker, Gomez team of the group stage, and many, many more. In terms of the lower rated ones and Saudi, we got Correa as an objective card, which is quite nice. Icons are icons. You've got plenty of them. So there's quite a few links for him. I feel like he's not missing out there. Personally, there is two chem styles that people are looking at, and that is an engine or a hunter. For me, I personally went with the hunter because I was like, I want him as a striker. I'm not expecting him to do too much. I'd rather having him just absolutely obliterating goals. So I've went with a hunter there, making him into a 91 striker. You definitely could go with the engine. It gets his pace up, dribbling and passing all at once, which turns him into more of an all-round striker. For me, I just want him scoring goals. That pretty much is all I want him for. His passing is average, so I could see why you'd want that engine. Does turn that short passing above 80, which is nice. But for me, I'm just going all-out hunter. I want to run with him. I want to score, and that's about it. But in terms of the SBC as we finish off today, it is a relatively cheap one. It's just an 84 rated team, 65 chem, and 1 Real Madrid player. I think that's pretty standard for a card like this. If we look at the first team here, obviously I used him as well as Asensio. Not bad, 82 rated. You then just need to get a couple of 83, 84s, and this guy has used an 86 just to balance out all the ratings. I think I used 2 or 3 85s, a couple of 84s, an 83, and then obviously Asensio as well. So it is relatively cheap, and I think for me, he's not a bad club stock player and maybe like an MLS objective player. He obviously wouldn't go into anyone's foot champs team or potential rivals, but I actually was surprised that he is better than what I expected. I did expect him to be this card that animations just keep him slow still, and I do think that he actually really got a pace increase that actually worked for him. He seemed like he could actually skip past defenders at times. Obviously, there is the likes of Traore, Mendy, Virgil, all of the big boys that will catch up to him eventually. They may not get him straight away. His acceleration isn't quite the greatest, but his sprint speed is nice. But overall, I was impressed. I thought it was a good card. He's above 8 for me. I put him at 8.2, as I feel like he deserves to be above 8 rather than bang on. But I don't feel like he's like contesting with some proper strikers, in my opinion. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and I'll see you in the next one.